Didn't miss a lot of time on Saturday against Virginia Tech, but had a difficult time shooting it. Just 1 for 5. Omier on the drive is going to scoop that one up and in. Norchad Omier really is the heart and soul.
And for a young man who started out shooting the basketball so poorly in his first year, now over 40% from beyond the three-point arc. But he's made his biggest impact on the defensive end.
Beekman will drive, scoop, and that'll rattle in.
Angel, of course, you know a lot about this when you were playing at Florida State. It takes a while for your system to get picked up. That's one of the things that Tony Bennett has had to deal with is Norchad Omier gets an easy one. And guys like Elijah Gertrude, especially the first years here at UVA.
Cleveland jumping in the paint and the kick here for Joseph. Slick feed in the lane for 2. Yeah, missed 10 games because of that ankle injury, so it hasn't been a big factor. Quick strike underneath. They got Groves free for 2, the 6'9" grad.
If the athlete says they don't think they can do it, most likely they can't do it, and that's a tough scenario for this Miami team who's dealt with so many different injuries throughout this year, OB. And you mentioned the NBA scouts in here.
And we will see if he does return tonight. That's a huge miss the way he's been playing. Here's Groves. Got a good look and knocked it down. They're calling it a 2-pointer.
Of course, after Isaac McNeely knocked down the 4-point play.
Shot clock is down to 6. McNeely. He drains the triple. Harris on the wing. Shot clock inside 10 again. McNeely to Harris. Groves won't wait. Yes. Another triple. Who hardly miss.
They absolutely have 2 guys who are knockdown shooters in McNeely and Groves.
Pat shoved it up there, and the rebound by Dunn.
Of the University of Virginia, and more importantly, glad to see that the University of Virginia on the forefront of advancement and diversity.
Joseph with a pretty play, so looking for a hot hand. Joseph can be that guy. He was in the second half on Saturday, packed on the baseline, trying to spin free. Shot clock down to 4, and swished in by Norchad Omier. McNeely slamming on the brakes. Here's Murray. Another guy who can hit a 3-pointer. Shot clock at 3. McNeely. Yes. Not much is for the Hurricanes after a pretty quick start. Even with the feed and a slam by Dunn.
That's when you can win. When you've got 3 guys you can depend on to give you offense.
Meanwhile, Miami once again looking for consistency. Joseph blocked by Dunn. The top guy in the conference. The outlet for Dunn on the other side will lay it in. Talk about end-to-end.
Turnover issues throughout this season. Virginia trying to score on the second turnover in a row.
Shot clock inside 5. And the scoop shot by Beekman just kept on going. Joseph handing off to the point guard. Pack off to Joseph.
There's that trap once again.
Omier working hard to get it close on Buchanan, who rejects it. Another swat for Virginia. Beekman finds a man open. It's Murray sticking it from 3-point land. And we'll get a second effort cross court. Here's Poplar and swishes in a 3-pointer they desperately needed. Beekman, shot clock to 2, and that's going to be blocked. Cleveland get out there to play some defense.
And get a better shot on that possession.
Yeah, he takes more threes than any of the Hurricanes. McNeely driving it, and it'll go down. Joseph, shot clock to 6. Slithers that pass to Omier. He'll kick it back for Pack. Shot clock down to 1, and swished in by Wooga Poplar.
Stretch out every possession as long as they possibly can. They'll use the majority of this 30-second shot clock and then end up getting a good bucket, an easy bucket like that from Reece Beekman. Already multiple turnovers for the Hurricanes.
How about this? 3 minutes into the second half, and Miami averaging 80 points a game. They've got 17, and finally get their first basket of the second half. 31-19, and McNeely for Beekman. Once again inside for Minor. This time he will make the shot.
A different raffle that I want to be involved in right there.
Yeah. Brody on the drive will scoop it up and lay it in. The sophomore from Milwaukee.
I think I can call it whatever I want.
Touche, my friend. A block by Dunn. Miami has all of 19 points, more than 5 minutes into the second half. Beekman swishes it in from 3-point land. Virginia taking on Pitt right here. John Paul Jones Arena at 7 Eastern. And Boston College hosting Louisville. There's Dunn with the slam. Up and over everybody.
On the other end, it's Reece Beekman to Ryan Dunn. Another highlight. The longest tenured coach in college basketball now after Cliff Ellis retired. Coach L's been on the sideline longer than any coach.
McNeely will knock back another pair of points. 47% beyond the three-point line. Downstairs and the slam by Norchad Omier, but just not enough of that tonight for the Canes.
Earlier today, how his team's offense affects them on the defensive end. And if they can see it go through the basket this season. However, they have turned it over much more than that, and I'm sure that's not going to be their last for the game.
Well, it worked on Saturday. In the second half, they were tremendous, and that one's going to rattle home by Groves.
Which oftentimes make it so difficult to come back against Virginia when you don't get as many possessions.
Groves again, nice touch there.
Akil Mitchell is the patriarch of this program.
Back pulls up and pops. That clangs away. And a tough rebound there by Omier, and he'll draw the foul too. So he's at the line looking for a three-point play.
The Raptors here, unless I mention someone that's going to be in that game.
Dawn Staley, that is a great legend, but I'm just letting you know women's basketball is definitely on the rise. I know that everyone's watching. Caitlin Clark.
Well, that's a great stat. 51-27 here, Virginia. Floating inside Cleveland, got the pass up there. It's going to be laid in. 21 scouts, a lot of them to see that kid.
Yeah, he is really priority number one. Ryan Dunn also a potential first rounder if he decides to come out this season.
With such a high basketball IQ, you can tell the coaches adore him.
Absolutely do. Jim Larinaga was beaming talking about him in shoot around.
Poplar off target. A second effort will be up and in by Nwoko. Was playing very clean basketball. They were making shots, but it didn't last very long. Buchanan, he likes that shot, doesn't he?
And he's starting to get a little confidence going.
A little bit.
Well, I think the time to get Virginia is gone. And it's one of those things to where Virginia has had such a reign over the ACC over the past 10 seasons.
A.J. Casey into the game, one of the subs, again getting minutes here in the second half. Shot clock down to 1 and the block. 56-34 Virginia. Bond going over the top. Buchanan to the paint again. Give him 2 more. So Virginia just 38 seconds away from going to 13-0 at home this season. Gertrude down the lane, flipped it up after losing it and laid it in.
Going to be a force that has to be dealt with as Elijah Gertrude shows off what we may see on SportsCenter later. It was going to be a dunk.
Going to make the highlight reel tonight for Virginia.
That was about to be a highlight because Elijah Gertrude may be the best athlete on the floor, and he was ready to launch on that possession.
And yet did not get to 40 against Virginia, who locked them up as they do so many on this floor.